want that cost. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get fuck you with to groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney!
Here. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. Second down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Over!
And on the ground they go with the running back. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Hang on now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a handoff looking right. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
On any run. Play this call, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And down to a knee. Well, that's one option. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Jameis now on 1st down. Evans has it left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now they try the right side here. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability and a sack.
That pressure gets to him again. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's going to launch this thing. Wait. It got his man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lane. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Noah Spence in on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He'll get it up the middle. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Jameis to throw it. Looking deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient and let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Flush to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42.
4 down, 4 down. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying to lay one up deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
319.
And they'll run it here. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 7. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jack Risky Tart. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Watching that, Barney! Hurry up, here we go! 3-19! 3-19!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. A first down throw for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
3rd and long for Winston. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
1st down, Winston. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11.
Ready?
To throw, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. Winston now. Past the 20. That's caught by Howard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the red zone now, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Green 39. Green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. Following the interception, Winston. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hut.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build.
Let's go.
Who's going to make the big
39.
play?
Green 39.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hut.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got Walters. Big catch. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Winston on 3rd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And he finds Howard complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And this one is right through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And here now come the Falcons. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. They'll set up a throw to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's 2nd down. To throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football, they've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Jameis to throw it. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey, ready. Blue ready.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. Now back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Winston. He's going to look deep down the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. A 2nd down throw for Winston. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
Ready. Flat 22.
From the gun, Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Ted McKinley in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.